Hey guys, I'm Heather Sullivan with Lee Isla Photography. I'm here to tell you today about something that is an amazing solution for photographers. Now, personally, I am dealing with a very tiny studio. I pulled back so that you could see my reality. This is my width reality here with my backdrop. Now, my studio has a little bit more depth, which is nice because I want to be able to back up to photograph clients. But this is my reality. And so a light stand that would be put up to give a rim light would be right in the doorway. Or there's only about 1.5 to 2 feet over here on this side of the backdrop. So I shoot mainly with one light, a single light setup. And it's functional. But every time I look at other images or I go to training or conferences and I see them using these multi-light setups, I get a little jealous because I can't figure out what I can do in my space to be able to do that safely. Enter Tog Drop Solutions. So a year ago, I took Chris and Lori Fritchie's Magic of Santa class, and they were using so many Tog Drop solutions. They have the backdrop solution. They had so many of the lighting solutions. And I started scoping out Gary and Elaine Jones and their company, Tog Drop. And Gary is just brilliant, and they are photographers in their own right. So their brain is Gary's brain is always creating better ways to do things. And so after a year of kind of stalking them online and looking at their site and trying to figure out what might work best for me. And side note, photographers, they will do a live call with you to help you evaluate your studio and see what would work best. I just didn't do that because I'm a behind the scenes watcher, right? And so I actually talked to them at imaging. I talked to Gary and I told him about my space and what I was really looking for. And so he had these amazing solutions. All their products are somewhat modular where you change out the stand. So I needed light stands and I needed them off the floor, no feet. And so we're going to put in the magnetic rails and put those a light above my backdrop to where I can have a hair light or a separation light. And then another solution I have is over here and this is just the piece. I don't have the light adapter on there, but it's super simple to put on. And this is going to go over here. So I have a rim light. So that was just my starting place, right? And what was super cool is I mentioned while I was there about having drop ceilings. So there are a lot of solutions that you can mount from the ceiling, and that really works for small studio spaces, but not with drop ceilings. You are stuck, right? Or we thought we were stuck. And then a week after imaging, I don't know, it wasn't very long, and Gary put out this request for testers for their new drop ceiling solution. And then so Elaine messaged me and said that I had been chosen as a tester. And so I'm super excited. I want to try to mount this up on my drop ceiling over here where I can use it as either a backdrop light to light my backdrop, which I would love to be able to do, or be able to flip it and kind of use it as a rim light. So that's our goal today. So I have my ladder here. I did try to mount it with my step stool and found out I really needed more height and leverage in my space. So we're going to get started here. I just wanted to share with you what I'm going to be doing, but then this may provide even a better option. And it's tiny. Like, it doesn't seem like it's not large. It doesn't take up a lot of space. But when you are in a small studio and you have drop ceilings, this could be magic. So let's try it out. Okay. So I watched Gary's instructional video. This long piece right here is the one that goes all the way across. It's about 6 foot long. And so those are the ones that are actually have the cable supporting the drop ceiling. So that's how you mount this safely. He does have some caveats, but it's really important that you would follow the instructional video. So the shorter pieces are not necessarily mounted with the cables. So we're going to mount this right here. I have this little, the piece swivels out, and then you have this side that slides in, and then that just like pops on. Perfect. All right. Then we had this swiveled out, then we're gonna bring it back to close it, and then we just screw it to tighten it up. Oh my gosh, super simple, right? It's snug. I'm gonna tighten that up. You know, I'm super paranoid about safety and things like that because I work with children. And so I'm pulling on this with a lot of, I mean, you know, I'm not super strong, but I am pulling straight down on this, and it is strong. Now it will just because nature of what it's holding on to, there's a little give this way, but it's snug on there and it is strong. So we're gonna add the light and the modifier and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got my Digi-Bee here and my modifier. Now, ideally, you're going to have a monolight that has a control, a trigger control, so you can change things. That isn't what I have in the studio. So for right now, until I change that out, this is what I have, a Pulsey Buff light. And the reality is, everybody is using different products, right? So it's great to know that I have an outlet right here. I can still have the advantage of this modifier. Now, I'm gonna recommend doing this with a friend instead of all by yourself, just because, crazy enough, I'm terrified of heights. So we're just pretending I'm not on top of the ceiling. Now, okay, so this modifier is a little snug, Okay, so I'm actually decided I'm gonna scoot it back because the modifier I thought I was gonna use, I don't really have the adjustment space. So this is, you know, very close to the ceiling. So I'll just show you real quick how easy it is to change. And while I probably wouldn't advise changing it with your light up on the ladder, we're gonna test the baits here. And I'm just gonna slide this, slide it on back. And swing that arm back around. Okay. Just like that. Look, I did it one-handed. Boom. And now I will tighten that up. So I think what I'm going to do, I've got this adapter on so that I can use it as a backdrop light. Okay, so my light is mounted, and it is, if I pull straight down, it is nothing. Like there's no give. And so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this. I can actually adjust my light with my step stool, so that'll be an advantage. I just needed the leverage to actually mount everything with a tall ladder. So I won't have to keep the ladder out all the time or up at the studio. I will be able to adjust the light with my step stool. I just wanted to be safe today to mount this. So love that. I can see how it's hitting the backdrop. Come like that. Okay, let's try it out. There you have it. I don't have this, I have it set so you can still see that Tog Drop solution with the drop ceiling option, and I can have my light mounted. I can play around with the modifier, but I can get a backdrop light and I can get a little bit of a rim light, which is super cool. No light stands. Now, because of my personal situation of using corded lights, I do have this cord right here, but I can clip it and I feel like it's safe because it's over here. The Tog Drop solution gives me a way to hang that safely out of the way and get extra light. So I can even mount another Tog Drop ceiling solution over here to have 2 lights pointed at my backdrop or get 2 rim lights going on. I am, again, in a very, very small space, so light bounces around, but this is really cool because it gives me some control of light and being able to play around with different lights. Now in my images, I just used a bear, a little toy bear, because I'm back up here on a Sunday trying to do this and I didn't have a client available, but it will be really fun to see how this works with clients and be able to get more creative. So I'm excited. If you haven't checked out Tog Drop, you have to do it now. They have so many great options and I think it will change your studio. All right, guys, bye.